Hello, and welcome back to Too Many Books. My name is Sean, and today we have my very first Nepenthe unboxing, though this is secondhand. This is not coming directly from Nepenthe. And you might be thinking, who the hell's Nepenthe? Well, I'm glad you asked. Hypothetically asked yourself that. Nepenthe is a small press from over in the UK, run by Elijah John, and his wife. They joined the scene. This is Poe, by the way. I don't even think it just says Poe. That's Poe. Tales and Poems, I believe, is what it's technically called. Yeah, Poe, Tales and Poems. They joined the small press scene a few years ago, maybe it was even last year, with like a folk horror compilation that I slept on too long, and now I've missed my chance. And then I was like, you know what, I'll get him on the next time. And the next time was Poe, and I was like, I don't need another Poe volume. But then once people started getting this in their hands, I was like, damn, this sounds incredible. I do need to get my hands on a Poe volume, and it sold out. But thankfully, with enough patience, I managed to find one at cover price on the secondary market. So, hell yeah. Two little bookmarks here from Eli John's artwork, which, I mean, his name's Elijah John, but I've only ever seen him illustrate previously under Eli John. But he, oh my God, this is signed by all of them. For some reason, I thought it was just, I must have misread the specs online. For some reason, I thought this was only signed by John, the artist, and that it was like the slipcase edition, or like the deluxe edition that was signed by John Langan and Stefan Dziemianowicz. Dziemianowicz edited it and provided an essay. John Langan provided a foreword. This is just the standard signed and numbered edition, 151 to 350 minus 246. There's a deluxe slipcase edition. I don't know if there's any extra changes to the book itself for the slipcase edition, or if it's just the slipcase. And then there's a lettered edition, which is printed on Mohawk Superfine and hand-bound by Roger Gresh, which is just disgustingly beautiful. And it comes with a letterpress edition of Fall of the House of Usher, which I know they did have like 70, I guess it would be 74 copies of Fall of the House of Usher that were available for public sale and sold out pretty much immediately. I missed my chance on that as well. So there's a lot of missed chances with Poe. With Nepenthe. This was a purposefully missed chance, because I was like, I don't need any more Poe. And then I started seeing pictures of it, and I was convinced I did in fact need more Poe in my life. I'm just a Poe boy. Anyways, this has a ton of Poe in it. A lot of bang for your buck here. A little over 400 pages. They're pretty thick pages too. This is thick. This is a thick volume for 400 pages. They are not being scarce on paper stock here. I will say they did have some troubles, a little bit of controversy. Last year, or was it earlier this year, there was some miscommunication between the press and a customer from the press. Apparently, the customer from the press had the book that he had ordered got returned to sender. There's some sort of mix-up with the shipping, and they sent him a replacement, and that one had some other issue that then got returned to sender. Like, it happened several times, and there was a bit of poor communication, poor choices of words used between the parties. It seemed, I'm sure, there's three sides to every story. It didn't, the way that it was reflected on social media, it didn't reflect nicely on Nepenthe. But, they're a small company. They're a small press, so they just, they need to get their bearings. And they put out a nice little statement about it, and that is a haunting image by Eli, or who's going by Elijah now, his full name. But anyways, they mean well. I know they've tried to make amends with that, and they hope that that instance didn't tarnish their name with those around them. I'm liking these colored plates. Very nice. As I was saying like 4 minutes ago, speaking of Fall House Usher right there, in non-letterpress version, just offset printed, but the letterpress one, man, that looks spectacular. In other editions and other ones that John has done the artwork for, he's always been credited as Eli John. But I guess here for his own press, he's going with the full name, Elijah John. Is this Mask of the Red Death, or is this still Fall of the House of Usher here? Oh, I don't know. It is Mask of the Red Death. Okay, I was going to say. It just says Tales of the Macabre up at the top. I believe it's broken down into 3 sections. Tales of the Macabre, Tales of Mystery, and then Poetry at the end. But anywho, I actually just did a video on The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, comparing and contrasting the Suntup and No Reply Press fine press editions of it. And Fall of the House of Usher by Nepenthe is a fine press edition, letterpress printed, which would go exceptionally well with my other fine press Poe, but I done goofed on that. Why did the typeset change here? It did, right? The spacing, not the margins per se, but the actual spacing on the paragraph became tighter there. Probably because we're going to Tales of Mystery now. You have more words per page. I don't think the size necessarily changed. I don't think the font type changed, but the spacing definitely did. But, I mean, that's kind of... Oh, it went back up a little bit, did it? Yeah, it went back up a little bit. I mean, I guess that's kind of their way of trying to control the page count, control the division of the areas. I was going to say, we're going with an illustration list here. We had all of them in the macabre parts, which makes sense. Eli is very much a horror artist. I mean, he's done artwork beyond horror, but he really front-loaded the artwork in the first half of this. And then we finally get to the poetry itself, which is likely going to have the Raven, the Haunted Palace, the Conqueror Worm, not to be confused with the Ramsey Campbell novel of the same name. There's the Raven. There we go. Same Raven from the cover. But Eli John does not do all of the artwork. He has outsourced to some other artists for some of the pieces. Some of the, and Annabelle Lee, of course. He has outsourced the artwork for some of the publications that they have done. And I'm surprised. They've actually done quite a lot. I have a couple others on order from Nepenthe. Nepenthe, if you're not familiar with, is a cure from sadness? A cure for sorrow is what that actually means. I have a couple more on order, including All of Them Witches. Did I order Cold Hand in mine? I honestly don't remember. Robert Aikman? I might have ordered that. If I didn't, I need to get on that because I know that it's dwindling. I also ordered Domain of the Pale Queen. And I'm excited to say, we have the introduction by John Langan here. With that Domain of the Pale Queen, I have first right to order The Fisherman by John Langan, which is going to be this is a very nice publication to begin with. Exquisite. Did John do this one? Did we see that art piece in there? That looks like a wood block. Did we look at that one? Which is a different medium for John. I mean, not to say that he didn't do that. But anyways, thrilled to pick up The Fisherman by John Langan. That is going to be a hard volume to track down. It's only limited, like, the deluxe edition's 100 copies, the lettered's 26, and then there's the standard edition, which is, I think, only like 224 copies. Like, that is a tight, that's 350 copies total of a volume, which is nuts. I mean, I guess I shouldn't really be saying how nuts it is, because technically this is also just over 350. This is 376. So, I mean, they have very low limitations compared to other presses out there. But how about that? 2 back-to-back first unboxings for me. The first Wraithmarked was yesterday. The first Nepenthe is today. What other fun firsts can we do? I don't know. I don't think there are any other fun firsts this week. But yeah, Poe, Tales and Poems. I am thrilled with this. It would have been cool to get the slipcase edition, but you snooze, you lose, and I definitely snoozed on this one. But like I said, I don't think the volume itself has anything different. I think it's the same volume, just a lower number on the limitation page, and the slipcase. But I'm a sucker for a nice slipcase. I'm gonna keep my eyes open for maybe a Tales, a Fall of the House of Usher on the secondary market. We'll see what happens. I slept on their folk horror, which is Unquiet Slumbers, so missed opportunity there. But they got some other exciting titles coming up. Cold Handed Mind by Robert Aikman is shipping now. Domain of the Pale Queen is still in the early stages. They're doing H.P. Lovecraft, which I believe is letterpress printed for that one. And of course the Fisherman. And I believe on the website they have like up to book 13 like planned already, which is nuts. But this will certainly not be my last Nepenthe unboxing. I don't know when the next one will be. I think like I said, bought Cold Hand in Mind, so it theoretically should be soon, but I will create a playlist for Nepenthe that you can check out. So be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see those future unboxings. Once I have read this volume, I'll do a full review here on the channel. I do at least one book review a week with plenty of other unboxings between here and there. But anyways, check out Nepenthe, and we will see you around next time.